This is the normal school uniform for senior secondary school pupils. Salimatu Bakar Fofana, Hajaratu Conte, and Adama Hassan Kamara come to school every day like this and change in front of the school gates before they enter into the school's premises. Why did they take up the hijab?
Well, I started hijabbing when I was in class 4, when listening to some Quranic lecturers for people like us to take up the hijab to cover our nakedness. They said the prophet, verse came down to the prophet for him to tell his believing women and his wives and daughters to take up the hijab. So I thought it fit that me too, I'm a believing woman, so I should hijab.
I started hijabbing when I was in SS2. I thought it fit that wearing the hijab would be the best way for us the women to cover our nakedness, and also it is compulsory for every woman, Muslim women, to wear the hijab.
I took up the hijab when I was in JSS2, and just as my colleague has said, it's when I heard it from lecturers that they told us that it's from a certain verse from the Quran. I think it's Surah to Hijab, verse 38, I guess. It says it was a commandment from Allah to the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. It says, "O Muhammad, tell your wives, your daughters, and the believing women to cover up their body, to use a veil from the head to the down to the foot, and so that they will be protected from molestations. They will not be looked down upon. It's not every eye that will be looking down upon them. They will be protected." So as I heard the verse, I thought, yeah, I'm a believing woman. I'm a Muslim. I'm trying to practice the deen proper. So why not just start by doing this? Because it's the main paramount thing.
Is the hijab compulsory for all Muslim women? Hajar Alari Cole has been wearing hijab for more than 2 decades now and is one of the campaigners for it to be worn by young Muslim girls.
It is not a must. Almighty Allah has stated in Surah Al-Nur and Surah Al-Hijab, He told the Prophet, tell the believing women, you have to believe, you have to have said the Shahada, to believe in Almighty Allah for you to want to use the hijab. So if you don't believe, then it's not incumbent upon you to do it. But if you say, I am a Muslim and I believe in Almighty Allah, and you go according to the injunctions of Almighty Allah, then you should wear it, because he commanded the Prophet to tell not only his wives, but the wives and relatives of Muslim women. So if you say you're a Muslim, then it is incumbent on you.
Eyebrows have been raised in some quarters about few institutions discriminating against Muslim women who use the hijab in their place of work. It is a problem faced by many women in the world.
Let us not forget, Islam is the fastest growing religion in the world. If you look in the United States, you see policemen, doctors, lawyers, professionals. They're all dressed in their hijab. In England, it's the same. So sometimes I ask myself why here in Sierra Leone we have this problem of our girls being accepted. We had a problem with one bank some time ago. I had to make a public statement to say, if you don't allow our girls to use the hijab, we will ask all Muslims to close their accounts in a bank. We've had calls to go to the nurses training school, the school of nursing, because they were prevented from doing their classes in hijab. But then you have to wear a hat, you have to wear gloves, you have to do that kind of thing. So why don't you allow these people to go in long sleeves and cover their heads? But it's a thing we took up with the Constitution Review Committee, because we have looked at it, we have had lawyers to talk to us to find out if there is any discriminatory clause in the Constitution that prevents our girls. There is absolutely none.
These teenagers seem determined and ready to face whatever challenge they may face while they wear the hijab.
Difficulty. I can recall a certain time, one of the teachers saw me with my beret. As soon as he saw me, he just took it off my head, straight into the gutter. I felt very bad, and there was no way for me to take it, because it's a gutter. It's
Even if they took it from you, they will wipe the blackboard with it, or they will use it to wipe their shoes. The t-shirt.
then they will do it.
So have you ever spoken or talked to your principal about it, the difficulties you're facing? Or is it because you have the idea that we can't say anything, it's a Christian school?
It's just that we can't say anything because it's a Christian school and they won't allow us to be talking about hijab in that school. Even when we are forced to pray in the school, they will just, if they find where we are praying, they will drive us from there and send us home on either us wearing the white.
Though Sierra Leone prides itself as a beacon of religious tolerance, that has not stopped mission schools to enforce their doctrines on those who choose their schools. Alberta Demby re-echoes the school's position about the girls who sneak out of the class to perform their prayers.
I just want to inform you that this is a Christian school and it is a Christian community. It is a Catholic school, and as we all know, Catholic is universal. We do know that we have kids coming from a Muslim background and from a Muslim school to our school. But because they have the established mark for our school, we don't have any rights to deny them. We at least have received complaints from teachers that our Muslim pupils are sneaking out of the classroom to observe their fasting period. They even do their ablutions alongside the step, and that's when we have a series of issues with them. But we call them and then we admonish them and they stopped doing it. We told them that this is a Catholic school. You don't have right to sneak out of the class to have your separate prayers. You can pray in your heart. After school, you go and obey the other prayer rules. Like during the Lenten season for our Christian pupils, we don't allow them to go across the church to go to the grotto and pray because they are in school. You pray in your heart, you fast, and then you pray in your heart.
The hijab has attracted many young Muslim women and girls in Sierra Leone, but they continue to face discrimination in places of work and school. Efforts have been made by different Muslim organizations to help tackle the problem. This rule only applies to the pupils and not the staff. Mrs. Dar Bakar has been in the school for over 10 years. She is enjoying every moment of it. The girls are already excited that they are about to leave in high school to enter university. Despite the challenges they are faced with in school, they also complain of the cost of the hijab as it is expensive. Business people blame inflation for the cost of the hijab. They experience more sales during the month of Ramadan. Some women put on the veil without knowing the essence of wearing it and its importance in the Islamic faith. How should a Muslim woman who puts on the veil carry herself?
Hijab is not a fashion show. You don't have to have all the styles, have all of this. It says cover yourself modestly. And you know what it saves you from? Sexual embarrassment. Honestly, I have not been able to see any man, no rapist, no pervert, who will see a young girl dressed in hijab. First of all, they're even afraid to come and talk to you or to even touch you. It saves you. That's why the injunction was put there, that it saves you from embarrassment and humility.